What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I'm BRAVExHERO, and today I'm going to be discussing a few tips on how to improve your survivability. Now, keep in mind that I'm not calling this video a guide to raise your KD. And the reason behind that is you shouldn't solely look to boost your KD or stats in general. Those will change when you know how to improve your survivability in the Crucible, in the PvP arena. In this video, I'm going to be going over 5 tips that new and experienced players can use in the Crucible to help improve that survivability. But before we get into any tips, for those who are new to the channel, welcome. I'm BRAVExHERO, and I am your resident Crucible enthusiast who spends almost all his time in Destiny in the Crucible. If you enjoy this video, you might want to consider checking out my other tips and guide videos. Those are going to be on my page. But if you enjoy those, then you might want to consider subscribing. It's free, and who doesn't like free? But nonetheless, let's get into the video. Now, improving your survivability is more than avoiding bad mistakes. It's more along the lines of becoming well-versed in decision-making and seeing engagements before they happen. Before you enter your next engagement, I want you to maintain health awareness. And that is tip number 1, guys. Maintain health awareness. How many of you actually wait till your recovery begins or you are fully recovered before you get into the next engagement? The reason I ask this question is because if you do not wait for your recovery to begin, you are still in the red, and you go into the next engagement, at that very moment, you would put yourself at a huge disadvantage. So whatever enemy you go against, they can easily clean you up. And the reason for that is because you didn't maintain health awareness. A lot of your favorite players who are really good at the Crucible have this awareness that they do. Whenever they finish the gunfight, they tend to look at their health bar a lot because their health bar will tell them if they are ready for the next engagement. One thing you want to get into the habit of doing is checking your health bar after each engagement. If your health is in the red, then you need to wait and find some cover, and by doing so, allowing you ample time to begin regeneration, thus allowing you to go into the next fight ready to go and not at a disadvantage. So tip number 1, guys, again, maintain health awareness. After each engagement, have your eyes dart up to your health bar and reevaluate yourself and see if you are able to go into the next fight ready to go. Next, we're going to get into something I like to call enemy avoidance. Now, just hearing that statement, you probably think I'm telling you to run away from any enemy you see, which is about 50% true, but there's more to it. When it comes to improving your survivability, the last thing you want to be is surrounded by enemies. This is where enemy avoidance kicks in. It's as simple as it sounds. Your main goal is to avoid enemies. Get into the habit of watching your surroundings. If my teammates die in that area and I see their death markers, your main goal should be whenever my teammates respawn, I need to move closer to them. This happens in survival all the time. This happens in quick play, classic mix, whatever it may be. When your teammates die, you have a better advantage of making your way towards them. And that's what enemy avoidance is. You are in what I like to call the danger zone. When you are surrounded by enemies, it is a 3v1, a 1v2, whatever it may be, you have a higher probability of surviving, increasing your survivability by heading over to your friends, being able to recognize, wait a minute, there's 2 death markers here. I am at the disadvantage. I need to make my way back to my teammates. Your chances of staying alive are much higher when you are surrounded by friendlies, aka your team of blueberries. This goes for any game mode. So again, guys, enemy avoidance. It's as simple as it sounds. You want to avoid the enemy team when you are at a disadvantage. And you can do so by seeing your radar, seeing where the dots are, seeing the death markers on screen. That is a huge indicator and something you need to keep in mind when you want to improve your survivability. Getting into tip number 3, it's what I like to call runaway. There is no shame in running away. When it comes to improving your survivability, I want you to think about 2 things. These 2 things are what make good players great. Those 2 things are decision making. Should I do this or this? And decision timing. The time it takes you to make your move. Now, when you enter a duel, an engagement, you need to know when it's time to call it quits and bail out of there. If you are in a 1v1 and you notice you're losing the fight, If you have the ability to bail behind a piece of cover, maybe turn around, run away, take cover somewhere, then try to take that chance and bail out of there. Or if you're in a 1v1 situation and an enemy shows up, now it is a 1v2 situation, then that might be a huge indicator that it's time for you to bail, because staying alive is your main goal. Staying alive is going to help you improve your survivability. In a 1v2 situation, that is a huge dice roll. You're at a huge disadvantage. Yes, you can win. Good players can win, but great players know that I'm not going to put myself in that predicament. A great player will know that I need to make my way out of there, because when it comes to game modes like survival where lives matter, then you don't want to put yourself in that situation. So again, keep in mind, there is no shame in running away, because at the end of the day, your goal is to stay alive and improve your survivability. About a year ago, I made a video on radar awareness, and that video still stands true to this day. I recommend you give it a watch. If you haven't done so, do so. Link is in the description and at the top of the screen. But I want to piggyback off something that I said in that video, something that is a huge detriment you can bring into your game, and that is unnecessary ADSing, aiming down sights unnecessary. Now, pre-aiming lanes are great, but live by this phrase: pre-aim with purpose. First, let's talk about the drawbacks of pre-aiming. If you pre-aim, at that moment, your radar is no longer active, thus taking away one of your biggest sources of information. Also, keep in mind, when you pre-aim, you also narrowed your field of view, this causing you to see less on screen. Now, on PC, it's not so bad due to the FOV slider, but if you are on console, this is a huge detriment. This is why I say pre-aim with purpose. Now, I don't want you to take this out of context. I'm not saying never to ADS, but you want to ADS with purpose. What can you do instead? You're going to want to use your radar, which is going to give you the information you need of when to aim and where to aim. I mentioned this in the radar video, but if your radar pings, that is a good indicator that a fight is approaching. I see a lot of people, a lot of guardians out there just pre-aiming because, oh, someone's going to come down this lane. And what they are doing is putting themselves at a big disadvantage. This is why I say pre-aim with purpose. The radar will tell you where to aim. You want to improve your survivability? Then use your radar. Your radar is your best friend. Your radar can provide you so much information that'll keep you alive, that'll help you improve your survivability. Now, getting into the next and final tip of improving your survivability. One thing you can do that'll really help you is bring the right loadout, using the right tools for the job. Have you ever tried to hammer a screw? You can do it. It's possible, guys, but it's not ideal. And that is the main topic for this section. You want to use weapons that are going to give you the advantage. If that be weapons with more lethality or weapons that would allow some room for error, then do so. But how does this help with survivability? Using weapons that are not ideal for the map or the situation will cause you to be at a disadvantage. If you are not proficient with that loadout, you might want to reconsider that loadout. Again, this video is focused on improving your survivability and using the right tool for the job that'll help you accomplish that. Overall, you want to use the best weapons in the game that will help you improve your survivability. Now, once you get more comfortable with other weapons, sure, switch up your loadout. But at the end of the day, if you are a new player or a player struggling to improve their survivability, you want to use the best weapons. You want to use the right tool for the job. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy content like this, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Again, it's free, and who doesn't like free? If you found this to be the type of Destiny content you like to see, then again, do me a huge favor and hit that thumbs up button, because it allows me to see that you guys like this content and I can bring more content like this to the channel. Also, if you haven't followed me over on Twitch, head over there right now, guys. It's going to be twitch.tv/BRAVExHERO. I stream on the weekends, so if you guys want to hang out with me, then by all means, head over there. We can hang out. With that, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.